Hey, this is Peggy with Easy Peasy Machine Embroidery, and today we're going to be in Premier+ Ultra software using the Create module. My boss kind of gave me an idea about decorating the COVID masks for the holidays. So what I'm going to be showing you today is how I created a bulb that you'd put on a Christmas tree, and how to resize and add fills and things to it. So here we go. So what we're going to do is open up the Create module, which is the little flower down in the lower left-hand corner, and we're going to load a picture into the paint window. Just going to say next here and excuse my desktop because it's probably got a whole lot of ideas on it. That's where I keep my ideas until I store them. And here is the picture that I want to use. It looks like we don't have to do very much cropping to it. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to change and enter my design size. I don't want to create the design to fit into a hoop because I want it to be really small. So I know that 1 inch is about 25 millimeters, but if you type a 1 and the quote sign and tell it that that's the width, it'll say it's 25 millimeters. So we're going to hit next. And colors here don't really matter. And there's the bulb. So what I am going to do first is go into MySewNet, and I'm going to turn off the pattern for now. I'll go back in later. And I'm going to take the satin line and switch it to a double stitch. And I'm going to go into, and we are in the MySewNet tab, Create Line. And remember, if you hold down your Control key, when you click your node, it becomes an angle rather than a curve. And I'm just going to place my nodes around the top of this bulb. I'm going to go back and make that into a angled, and I'm going to right click it. Now I can go down into the zoom area and zoom in, right click on the mouse, and if I want to move any of these modes to smooth things out, I can. A real pro, remember I am just an amateur, a real pro would use the Bezier mode to get their curves nice and smooth. I haven't worked a lot with that, so I'm not going to show you that at this point. So there is the background of the bulb, and I'm going to wait a few minutes before I put a fill in there because I want to do those lines. So I'm going to change my color, and at this point any color will do. Every time I do a new part of a design, I change the color, and then they can be changed back anytime I want. I am going to use a double stitch. I'm going to go and do create line or area, and I'm just going to put 2 nodes there and right click, left click, move it up a little bit, right click, left click, and there we go. The reason I didn't do the fill is because I wanted to be able to see the lines. So now I'm going to go back up to my double stitch, left click it, so I can see my nodes again. And that was a right click, sorry. And then right click again, and I can put my fill in there. So I think I used a contour fill for one of my already done bulbs. I'm going to change the gap to 1, and I'm going to leave it at a double stitch. I think triple is probably going to be too much, and I'm going to hit apply. Now I'm going to take a look at it. Do I like that? No. So because normally it would be a solid type top to that bulb, I'm going to try a pattern fill. I'm going to do a 2, but I don't want it to be super, super dense, so I'm going to change the density to 4. And I think that's probably going to be okay. After I stitch it out, if I save this file as a .edo file, in the file save as, and put it someplace where I know where it is, I can always change that density later. So for now, we're going to leave it. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on the last stitch I did. And we're going to change the color. I'll do that color. Any color, I can change them later. Create line or area in the Precise tab. I'm going to leave the line at a double stitch, and I'm just going to go and click my nodes. Left click, left click, left click, left click, and so on and so forth. I'm going to add a few extra down here. And remember, we can go in and change them, move them around. And then I'm going to drag that over the other one and right click. And there is what it looks like. If I think I need to make some changes, I right click and then right click again. Stitch length is 1 millimeter, so I don't think I want to change that. So maybe I'll just take and smooth out a few of these nodes. So I'm left clicking and dragging. I'm going to change the 2 corners down here to angles using the hook control button. Same thing up here. Okay, now I'm going to right click and I'm going to go into the different types of fills. There's the contour. I'm going to change that to 1 if I can and apply. So there is one option for that bulb. Now, if you were going to make different bulbs, change things around, I'd do a file, save as, and I'd call it bulb 1, bulb 2, whatever. That will allow me to go back in and do a file, new window, and then you do load existing design and then go get that EDO file. But for today, we're not going to do that. So there's the contour. If I want to change it, now I can right click and say, ooh, I would like the multi-wave fill now. And I know that 20 is going to be way too much of a distance between. So I'm going to go down to a 10. And if you left click over this box, this menu, you can drag it so you can actually see what you're doing. So there is the 10, or I can say, let's try 15 and see what that looks like. I can say, let's go down to 8 and see what that looks like and pick what I like. I like the 10 in that situation, but you can do whatever you want and save that as a different design. So you do File, Export, and name it something else. And then I say, ooh, I would like let's try a motif fill. And let's see, some decorative, possibly. Let's look through here. I'm going to try that one. I'm betting that some of these are going to be too big. So we shall see. If the numbers won't work, they won't apply like that. That's okay. I don't know that I'd use it. That's kind of cool. You can just play and play and play to your heart's content with these fills. And then what you would do is just bring them into um, the embroidery mode, really. I actually just save them as is into my VP3 form, and I use the design placement app on my cell phone. I put my mask pieces into the hoop. I use a little bit of the quilt basting spray to hold my mask down onto the water-soluble stabilizer or whatever stabilizer you use. I often use medical paper that they put on the exam tables. That works really well, and it's cheap. Um, and then I take a picture of the mask pieces in the hoop, and I load it onto the background of my machine using that design placement app, and then I just open up each one of those bulbs and place it wherever I want on the mask. So that's a really cool feature that they've added. So hope you can go out there and do a little playing and maybe make some decorative masks for Christmas. Bye.